Dia, and welcome to Dia's Ideas DIY edition. Designing and organizing small living spaces can represent quite a challenge. It can be seen as a limitation in terms of functionality, comfort, and beauty. But these inconveniences can easily be turned into an advantage, a source of inspiration, allowing you to be very creative in thinking of ways to enhance the given space and make the most of it. There are a few simple tricks to achieve that, such as painting rooms with brighter colors, thinking of clever storage solutions, even bringing in smaller and multifunctional furniture, custom-made furniture, giving you the opportunity to tailor your space to suit your needs and add your own personal touch. And by that I mean literally add your own personal touch. How about making your own furniture, and even from scratch? Well, this is exactly what this episode will be all about. We will be making a small floating TV unit to fit in a small living room. Stick around to find out. As I mentioned earlier, we will be making a small floating TV unit to fit in a small living room. I had come up with a really simple concept. Modern vintage look, very light looking, and just big enough to go with a standard size LCD TV and store a good amount of DVDs. So I had all my boards cut previously at a cutting shop, and all the different boards were cut exactly as per my cutting list specifications. I had my board cut out all row. I had started with the coats of universal undercoat paint to cover the natural deep color of the board. Once dry, I had added a coat of paint from Plascon, an off-white color. To make the whole experience enjoyable, it is important to use tools that are DIY friendly, convenient, and of course, affordable. I'll go for a pocket hole joinery using a Kreg Jig K4 and a Bosch cordless draw driver to draw the two side panels as well as the bottom panel to assemble the carcass. I'll use a Kreg corner clamp. I must tighten it well, making sure that the two parts are correctly lined up. I need to use Kreg softwood screws, 25mm, for my 16mm thick MDF panel. I had 2 fillers of raw chipboard cut to add to the carcass as support to my back panel, which will be installed at a later stage. Now I need to install the door. I wanted to go for a modern vintage look, so I went for a cabinet door from a textured range called Dark Vintage, made by Neiman Boards, and the door style is actually called 5-panel. Well, it's essentially a 4-panel constituting the frame, as you can see here, plus a central panel that's actually thinner. I must first install the hinges. I'll use 2 full overlay 110 degrees knock-on hinges tighters from Jalmar Fittings. I decide to position them on the door at 150mm away from the side edges. I must use a 35mm wood boring bit in my drill to create the holes big enough for the hinge caps to be housed. I bring back the door to the carcass, making sure that it is well centered. I identify the center of the cap holes to the carcass, then, at 37mm off the front edge, I mark the center of the mounting plate. I place the mounting plate in position to mark screws.